Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video. So this video is fully gonna be my transformation journey, story, whatever you want to call it. I've been through it. It's been a couple of years, but I think we finally got there. I've had a lot of experiences and a lot of ups and downs, and I feel like I don't really share that on my social media, like on my Instagram and TikTok. I will leave them down here if you want to follow me, but I feel like I really just want me and my followers, you guys, to have more of an open relationship, so you know exactly what's going on behind the scenes, exactly where my head is at now, and how I basically got where I am. I just want to put a trigger warning. I do talk about calories a bit, eating disorders, things like that, so if that triggers you, you probably don't want to watch the video. We're just gonna have a chill chatty video. Got my iced coffee because it is at least 25 degrees right now and it is 8:30 in the morning, so I am very sweaty. My hair is already starting to get frizzy and the sweat is dripping from me, but yeah, let's get into the video. So it started in 2019. I used to work in a hotel. I was on my feet 24 hours, like all day during the shift. I used to have actually really sore feet. It was the worst ever. Like I used to get like calluses on my feet and all from being on my feet so much, like running about. It was awful, but I was obviously very active. I was also active when I was younger. I used to do netball and I used to go running and things like that, so I've always been quite active. Okay, I can't with this heat. I've had to go and get a book to fan myself with. So yeah, I basically left that job in the start of November 2019 because honestly the main reason was I was working crazy hours. Like I could be working till 11 that night, starting at 6 the next morning, on my feet all day. I was just so exhausted all the time, so I decided that I wanted to get a job that was 9 to 5 sitting down, so I wouldn't be as like exhausted, because I felt like I couldn't really have time outside work to do anything because I was just so tired. I got a new job, an office job, which I started in November 2019, but because I went from completely on my feet like all the time to like sitting on my bum all day basically, I did start to put on a bit of weight and it happened quite quickly. I started the start of November and by January I was a bit bigger. I don't really think that I put on that much weight. I think it was more because it happened so quickly. I was like, whoa, this needs to like calm down, and it was more noticeable because it was so quickly and things like that. January 2020 came, and I'll insert some photos like here so you can kind of see what I was looking like at that time. January 2020 was when I first started getting into the gym, getting into eating a bit less, calorie counting, things like that. That's when I first actually learnt at all about calorie counting, really. I did know about calories before that, but in terms of a calorie deficit and things like that, I didn't really pay much attention to. I knew I needed to eat less calories, but I didn't really know about maintenance, calorie deficit, things like that. So in January 2020 was when I started to learn more about that. Because I was only just starting to learn, I feel like a lot of people, especially like even now, a lot of people that are still getting into it will message me and be like, I'm being advised by this app or by this thing to eat like 1,200 calories. A lot of people are believing that and don't have a lot of knowledge, so I feel like that's kind of the situation I was in, and it's so common for people that wanting to lose weight not really knowing what unhealthy ways are, what healthy ways are, what it can kind of lead to and things like that. Yeah, so in January 2020 that's what I started doing. I started calorie counting. I reduced my calories by a lot very quickly. I reduced my calories very quickly in January 2020 by far too much. I started going to the gym all the time, over exercising. I would literally go to the gym after work every single day, then I would have dinner, and then I would do some sort of home workout after, or like to the point if I felt like I overate, I would just like run back and forth in the hall. Like I was just constantly trying to be as active as I could and eat as little as I could. Was doing a lot of cardio as well when I actually was going to the gym. I was doing a bit of weight training, but I wasn't trying to increase my weights. I was just like lifting what I could and sticking to that, and then doing a lot of cardio. So the treadmill, the bike, things like that was majority of what I was doing. So by, I think lockdown was the 23rd of March. So by then I'd lost all the weight plus more, like a lot of weight. That's 3 months basically. So super quick. I was so slim, basically slimmer than I was even before I'd joined the job where I was sitting, which I'm still in now. But I was really happy, felt so confident, and then obviously lockdown happened and I was moving house while lockdown was announced, I think like 2 days before I had to move house. So it was like such a stressful situation, because I don't even think you were allowed to move house, but we physically didn't have a choice because we had to be out of that other house. So trying to move while there's a lockdown, like we couldn't get a van, like it was so difficult. So I was also moving to a completely new area in lockdown. It was so stressful. But yeah, so lockdown happened, so I couldn't go to the gym because of my situation changing. That was kind of taking up all my mindset, and I wasn't really caring about eating, like what I was eating at all. I was just, and we didn't really have food in the house because we were moving house, so we were eating like takeaways and things like that. For the next year, we'll skip to March 2021, I basically put all the weight back on. And that, like, to be fair, I wasn't eating that bad, but because I lost the weight before so unhealthily, as soon as my body, it was like going from really restrictive calories to me then moving house, eating all the takeaways. So I was jumping from so little to so much, so my body just like didn't really know how to cope with it. So then I basically put all the weight back on plus more again. March 2021, I was like, right, I've put all the weight back on, I'm just gonna do what I did before. I'll lose it really quickly, I'll just really restrict my calories, go out running, go to the gym, things like that. So I got back into the gym. I don't know if they were open again, I'm pretty sure they were, but whenever they opened again I started going back anyway. I think they were open by March 2021, but don't quote me on that. So when the gyms opened again, I was going for runs every day, walks every day. I was trying to eat basically as little as possible. Again, I used to put everything into MyFitnessPal, so I actually went back and looked at January 2020 to see what kind of food I was eating and how much I was eating, because I was like, right, I want to do the same as I was doing then, because that worked. But because I'd restricted myself before, and this time I was going in with such a restrictive mindset, like I was like, I've done it before, I'm gonna go back to that rather than just trying it out and seeing where it goes. That really restrictiveness, especially since I was eating so much, just threw me off. So I think I was fine for about 4 weeks, and then my body was so restricted I just ended up binging. So I would go through periods of restriction during the day, binging at night, and then I would be like, feel really guilty, so I'll be like, right, I have to eat like nothing tomorrow, so restrict the next day, restricted myself again. So I got so ravenous I would binge that night again, feel so guilty, and it just kind of was such a bad cycle. It didn't happen every day, but it got to a point where it was for a few weeks happening every day. And so this was March 2021 when I like developed the binge eating, and it's just so hard to get out of, because you really need, which it took me like a whole year to learn basically, you really need, after you binge, to eat normal, to get back into the routine of eating normal. Like if you're gonna restrict, you're gonna binge, and you're gonna be stuck in that cycle. But at the time, again, I didn't have a lot of knowledge back then, so I was just and because I was binge eating, I wasn't doing it all the time. I would say I could maybe go a month without doing it, or I could go a week with doing it every night. It was completely all over the place. So because of that, my weight was just staying the same, or it would be like low one week, up another, and fluctuate, but it would always kind of stay around the same. Like I wasn't actually losing the weight, and I was getting so frustrated because I couldn't help but get out of this cycle, and I also wasn't making progress. So I was like, why am I even stuck in this cycle if I'm staying the same? Like it didn't make sense to me, but I also didn't really know how to get out of it. So I did a bit of research. So by October 2021, I was like, this needs to change, this is getting really bad. So I did a bit more research. I'd already over that year learnt a lot about calorie deficit, calorie surplus, maintenance calories, fats, carbs, everything, like macros, micronutrients, everything like that. So I had a bit more knowledge. So by October 2021, I was like, I just need to face it, increase my calories, and get out of the cycle, because it's not healthy and I can't go the rest of my life doing this. So I just kind of need to take a step back, take a break, try and get better basically, because it is not good. Anyone else that has like experienced it, you'll understand it's like terrible. It's so soul destroying. Like I used to avoid, even though we were in lockdown, after lockdown or when you could go out, I would completely avoid social situations because of my weight and calories and things like that. I was just so embarrassed for people to see me, and I just felt so massive because I also had body dysmorphia. So it was not a good place, and I just used to cry all the time about how much I hated myself, and I couldn't eat certain foods because I knew the calories in them, but then I would binge. So it was like, it sounds so dumb and makes no sense, but oh, it's just awful. October 2021, I was like, right, this has gotten too bad. I know now with my knowledge that I need to be eating more. It's easier said than done, and that's why I haven't done it before, but I was like, right, I just need to do it. I just decided to increase my calories. I managed to increase them a bit. I'm not going to mention calories in this, but I'm managed to increase them by like halfway to maintenance. So like I was eating like half my maintenance before, and then I managed to increase it halfway again, so like 3/4, if that makes sense. So I was eating that for a good while. I felt like I had a lot more energy. I was going to the gym still, but just lifting weights. I cut out cardio. I was just going for walks because I thought I don't want to be putting too much pressure on myself while trying to eat more, because it's already hard enough when you've been eating so low for so long. So then over Christmas and everything, I tried to really just enjoy it. Just eat as much as I wanted, eat the Christmas dinner, eat things like that. It was actually the first Christmas in a couple of years where I didn't really feel guilty. I really got to enjoy it. So then January 2021, I was like, I want to take this seriously, because obviously increasing your calories when you've had eating disorders in the past is really hard. So I wanted to have some more reassurance, just to be like, right, you are meant to be doing this, you're doing this right. Even though I'd gained a lot of knowledge, it's so good to have that person there just to reassure you and be like, you're doing it right, this is okay, things like that. It just really helps. So in January 2022, I joined Fiona Simpson Coaching, which is the best, because I'd followed her for a while and she's also been through binge eating, bulimia and things like that, like so similar to my situation. So I thought she's gonna understand, she knows what I want and the best way to go about it, because she's experienced it herself. So I decided to join her in January 2022. That was going so well until the 23rd of March. March seems to be the month where everything happens for me. The month where lockdown started, the month where I started restricting again. It seems to be the key month in this story. But the 23rd of March, I tested positive for COVID, and it was the worst thing that could have happened at that point, because I had really bad shortness of breath. There was like 3 days where I lost my taste, but I didn't even lose it. Everything just tasted really toxic, so I couldn't really eat anything because it just tasted terrible. It completely threw me off track. I couldn't even like go for a short walk or anything because my shortness of breath was so bad. I was feeling so sick, couldn't eat anything, so I was stuck in bed, like not feeling myself and things like that. So it kind of brought back some wee eating disorder thoughts, which I feel like will never fully go away. You'll always have a wee blip. Didn't act on them, which is so much progress and I was so proud of. Took about a month to get over that, really, to fully, well, maybe 1 month or 2 months to kind of get past the shortness of breath. I was just going for really like slow short walks. Like it would get to the point where I had to keep stopping at every bench, but I was like, at least I'm getting some fresh air to help my mental health and things like that. Yeah, it took about 1 or 2 months to get over that, and then once I did, I actually took a break from the coaching because there was no point, because I was like stuck in bed and had COVID and everything like that. So it basically restarted on the 1st of May. I joined her again. We just worked on increasing my calories, increasing my weights. So from the 1st of March, this seems like, I swear the 1st of March was like a month ago, but it seems like so long ago. Like it seems like I've come so far. But from the 1st of March, I started increasing my calories. I had so much more energy. I was actually able to do 10,000 steps, which I wasn't able to do before because I had no energy. It's the first time ever that I've been able to increase my weight. So literally from when I was lifting weights way back when I was restricting, that's the same weights I've stayed at. So basically 20 kilogram hip thrust, like any dumbbells I would use would be like max 4 kilograms, things like that. Whereas now over the past few months, I've managed to get up to 45 kilogram hip thrust, 7 kilogram dumbbells for things. So that is like crazy. That's my main focus at the minute. I really just want to keep increasing my weights because that like brings me happiness, knowing that I'm getting stronger and knowing that the food is actually working to make me feel stronger, make me feel healthier, more energy, more like myself again. Because for the past few years, like I completely lost myself. I just felt so lethargic all the time, so grumpy, like I just wasn't myself at all, so unhappy. And since eating more, I just feel like I have more energy, more myself. I feel less uncomfortable in my skin, so I feel more like I'm able to go to social events and things like that. So it has been hard, it has been a full process, but I feel like we're finally getting there. So currently I am reverse dieting to maintenance. I think by the time this video goes up, I will be at maintenance. I am going to be eating at that maybe until the end of summer, the end of September. And then my goal after that, after building some muscle, will be be being in a bit of a calorie deficit to lose a bit of fat. See, since I started eating more as well, I did get more in shape. This is what I currently look like. I did get more in shape than I had ever been eating more calories, so I'm not too worried about fat loss, but I just want more of my muscles to show that I've worked on building, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's where we're currently at. It has been a whole journey, and I feel like the key thing to take away from this video is if you want to lose weight or fat, the best way is not to restrict, not to do too much cardio. Do what you enjoy. If you enjoy going for walks, go for walks. If you enjoy doing cardio, do cardio. If you enjoy yoga, if you enjoy tennis, like do whatever physical activity you enjoy. Just get your body moving. You don't need to go overboard. You don't need to go to the gym. You don't need to do cardio. You don't need to do anything you don't want to do. In terms of going into a calorie deficit, you don't need to go crazy. Like you can literally go down by like 100 or 200 calories and that you will lose weight. I feel like my mindset's just completely changed on my social medias as well, where I now just want to promote having a good relationship with food, being able to eat what you want when you want, and lifting weights and stuff. So I just wanted to kind of talk through the journey, because I feel like a lot of people have followed me through it but not known kind of what was going on behind the scenes. So it's a bit scary to put it out there, but I think it will hopefully help a lot of people. And I am actually doing a personal training course at the minute. Hopefully by the end of the year I'll do online coaching, because I really want to help people avoid doing what I did, or anyone that is in a situation like I was, to get out of it, because I know how horrible it is and I feel like I have so much knowledge on it now. It would be great to share that and help people. Yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. I'm so happy to be back on YouTube. I'm so sweaty right now, so I'm gonna go and sit in front of the fan for a bit and try and get out of the heat. I hope you all have a great Sunday and enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Bye.